Welcome back, Addicts. I'm Josh.
And I'm Michael.
And today we got another episode-by-episode review of a new anime. And that anime is called Goblin Slayer, one that Michael has been patiently, but still bothering me waiting. And we're here to talk about it. And yeah, we're just going to go right into it for the episode. So, Michael, do you want to start us off with basically what happened and who these people are? Because they kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah. So we do get a sneak peek at a Goblin Slayer, my man. But the episode intros with four adventurers, beginning level adventurers, starting out on like one of their first quests from what we saw, where they are fighting goblins. You have some unexpected things happen with the goblins, and the danger that they present in this universe.
Yeah.
You have a guild lady suggesting that they do something else, but
she didn't try that hard, though.
No, I mean, people, they're 15, they're adults. If they want to go do what they want to do, then
yeah, you do you, buddy.
But it's actually pretty great. I guess we can talk about spoilers and stuff that happens, right? So,
yeah.
They do end up suffering major casualties there. And one of the interesting, on multiple fronts. One of the interesting things is the guy who's the hero, like the leader of their party is a guy, and he's got like a large sword. And you get commentary from Goblin Slayer later that the sword's actually too big, so he was like slashing it in the cave, and it was hitting like the top of the cave, and that like led to his undoing, where he got his hand chopped off and then stabbed 100 times.
Yeah. Which, I don't know. What did you think as like a whole? For me, I thought it was really good. The pacing was a lot faster than it is in the book. Because Michael has read, are you current on this series?
Nah, there's 5 books and I finished book 3. So.
Okay. So he's read a little bit. I've read only a little bit of the first book. And just the little bit I read, they get way past this in the episode. So it was kind of nice because I think they focused on the things that really matter. Like you get an instance of like how the guild works and how the rankings work. So like you figure out that the top 3 tiers are platinum, gold, and silver. And that kind of gives a little bit of insight of just how powerful Goblin Slayer is. Or
how good he is at his job, at least.
Yeah. And as far as the characters, there's only 2 that really matter, I guess, that were introduced in this.
Yeah, Priestess.
Yeah.
She does not have a name. I'm pretty sure canon it's just Priestess. And
that's another thing that just gets me every time when they have that, where it's like, no, they're just titles. It's funny to make this connection, but it's a lot like Cells at Work in that respect, where they just have basically titles. They don't really have names.
Yeah, and then you have Goblin Slayer, which is pretty much his title and name as well.
Yeah.
We get to see some really good action scenes in this episode, actually. We get to see Goblin Slayer killing 22 goblins, I believe. Something close to that.
Sort of. I mean, like, he kills some of them on camera and then some of them off camera. But overall, yeah, we get to see him slashing.
You get to know more about his mentality, where he's playing for keeps, and kind of like what his viewpoint is of the world in general, kind of. And so yeah, it was just really that one contained episode in the cave that made up the whole episode 1.
Yeah. So what was your first impressions? Do you think it lived up to what you had pictured in the book, or?
Yeah, I was worried because there is a mature theme that kind of goes through Goblin Slayer. For people who've read or seen the manga, you know what I'm talking about. Even in the light novel, it's a little more they don't focus on it
you
as
have
much.
To say tasteful?
I mean, in some ways, like artistically, they don't focus on the bad things happening as much in the light novel. And I think what they did with this was, with the first episodes, it's kind of a hard topic to cover, but they did do it in a way where you understand what was happening without it being too overly graphic. It was a little graphic. I did cringe a little bit when it was happening, but I guess that's kind of what goblins are supposed to do, what your response is supposed to be to goblins in this world.
Yeah, I think they did a fine line of, showing you a little bit. They gave a step, or I guess a peek, and showing you how brutal this world is and how it operates, but they didn't go so far as to where you're just like utterly, disgusted to where you just turned it off. With that being said, though, there was a couple parts where I felt it really odd because it felt like they censored a little bit in terms of when he's killing goblins in particular. And I thought that was a little weird that they kind of toned down the violence in a sense with that. But I do respect that them doing that more than doing something like, for instance, like a show called Terraformers did, where they have a version that's just pixelated and you don't see like half of what's going on. So I do appreciate they didn't have that. But overall, I think it was a pretty solid episode.
Yeah, pacing was really good in this one. That was kind of a problem with the light novel, at least the beginning part of it. And I really liked, you get to see the two characters, you get to know a little bit more about them. And I think people leaving this episode, I think people who are just starting out with this show, at least are anticipating what happens forward with next with the two of these individuals. So
yeah,
I think it's a good ending for the first episode.
Yeah, for me, I think it's. I definitely liked it. I can't say. Excuse me, my voice is losing power here. I can't say I absolutely loved it. It wasn't one of those episodes, but I'm definitely intrigued and I want to see more from it. I think this is a show, like Michael said, it attacks some major, heavy, mature themes, and there is definitely an aspect of violence in it. So if that's something that you're maybe a little bit more squeamish to, or you don't like those types of shows, you might have to say, well, this isn't for me, or you should at least check it out to see if it's in the right balance where it is. But for me, I'm excited for the next episode. What do you think in terms of that? Is that...
Yeah, I'm excited for it to come out. Review it for you guys. I guess it comes out on Saturdays. Sundays?
Yeah.
Sundays.
Well, I guess it could be Saturday night, but for our time zone, it's really weird.
But yeah, anyway, so I'm excited for the episodes coming out, and excited where they take the series. I'm excited to see more of what Goblin Slayer does with his tactics and stuff, because you get kind of sneak peeks of what different things he's doing to trick the goblins or make them easier to dispose. And I really like the show, and hoping to see more soon. So.
Yeah, I do like how they did the little tease at the very end for people that read the books, where they have the dice roll sound going off. So that was really cool. As far as any predictions, I don't have any. I guess. I mean, I would assume that his his entourage gets a little bit bigger as he saves people, because I think that they have it play off really well, because he's not really somebody that's an adventure hero. He's more of just a tidying adventure. He's the cleanup crew. So when he comes across people and saves them, it's mainly just because they're in he's just running and patch them while he's doing his job. And so I'm interested to see that dynamic and how that may affect his goals later on, if we get new characters that way, or if they'll come across some other way. But I don't know. I'm just excited for it.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a solid show.
I want to see more of his personality, so I'll see how they get that in the.
The real question is, will we ever see him without his helmet?
I can't answer that. I can either confirm or deny that.
All right. Well, I guess that's all. Do you have any final remarks before we close?
No, just really like the episode. Can't wait to see more, and we'll get more Goblin Slaying going on.
All right. Well, I guess that's it for episode 1 of Goblin Slayer. Be sure to check us out next week when we come back for episode 2. We also got a style of video like this that we're doing for that time I got reincarnated as a slime, so be sure to check those out. The anime comes out Tuesdays. We probably will have videos out Fridays. So it's a little bit of a wait, but that's just something we're having to force to because of our schedules right now. But that might change. But that's where you should be looking at for that. As well as any other content, you can check out our YouTube library. Check the links down in the description if you want to follow us on social media, or check out our podcast on SoundCloud. It's
at the moment, yeah.
It'll upload eventually. So, but anyway, guys, that'll be it for this episode. We'll see you guys next week. Later.